Ladies and gents, good morning. So, TFD Season 3 launched, a couple of weeks ago, and there's some new guys, some returning players, some new players trying it out, and they're having some problems with the latest parts of the game while using Serena. As far as I can tell, they're using a certain build, and one of the things I've noticed many people have complained about is that Axion planes is really difficult, or the other descendants are out damaging them while they're being on the Serena. And I've gone and looked at the builds they have, and I've realized what the problem might be. So this is strictly if you're very new or you're a returning player, you've never played Serena, and you don't know what she's capable of. Just so you know, Serena is the best descendant in the game. So you're using it wrong. Let me explain to you why. I've seen the type of build the guys are using, and they are using the Divine Surge. You're using the Divine Surge 4th ability skill. That looks like she does a lot of power, has a very high multiplier on the skill power on the landing damage. So you would think that this is a very good skill, and you'll be right. Does a lot of damage. You'll be looking at a DPS of 30 millions that can go all the way up to 20 millions. With the right setup and the right skills and all that, you can absolutely smash, right? It's really good. But this build, and if you're using this build, this is gonna be a good build to have fun with if you're playing 400% dungeons, invasions, Sigma sectors, things of sorts, where the mobs don't do a lot of damage, they're not very tanky and all that. If you're talking Axion planes, Colossus battles, or you're talking about void purges like on challenge mode or something, it's not gonna work. Now you have the numbers of a typical Serena build on Divine Surge, which is by using this, right? Now let me put for you a weapon platform build, showcase to you what Serena can really do, and then you decide for yourself if you want to use it or not. I'm just gonna showcase what she does, how well she does it, and if you want to use it, just go with it. I have a Fallen Hope here, by no means the best weapon in the game, but we're gonna go through the build of that. But let me showcase to you what she can do when it comes to damage. Actually, we put these guys back, and now we're gonna push that 20 millions average to 150 millions. Okay, and look at the AoE damage as well. I thought it's gonna be easier to just explain it to you first, right? And this is by no means the most amount of damage she can do. 150 million DPS instead of 13, 15 or 20 million DPS. That's where her power lies. So her 4th ability with Divine Surge uses the skill power to do damage or whatnot, but without that skill, without that Divine Surge Transcendent mod, she actually does a lot more damage while infusing her power in the weapons. That's why she's a weapon platformer. She basically activates her Redemption, her 4th ability, and in the air, it's called Redemption's Judgment, so you get the damage boost, which is a multiplier of your firearm damage attack times HP times 0.8%. So the multiplier is your HP. The more HP you build on it, the more damage you do. Caps at 312%, which is 39,000 HP. And with this build here, you have 38,000. So you're about 300% damage. You can squeeze another 2,000, another 1,000 HP somewhere, but it's really not needed. You're pretty much sitting almost at the top of the cap. So the damage the damage increase is going to be minimal. You don't really need to juice it up even more. That's pretty much fine. And we're not even going to use a fire reactor. You don't really need it. The reactor, it doesn't matter at all. The only thing that matters here is the stat with duration and cooldown, mandatory. And I will explain that in a second why. But what I use is fire rate increase from the Shell Crusher 2-piece set and the skill cost 2-piece set from the Ascending Armory set. You can take the skill cost and change it with something else. You can have 2 fire rate and 2 weak points damage with the ballistic set. You can have duration up with the annihilation set. It's up to you. Assault rifle attack if you want to use that with the distorted set. Cooldown with the hunter set. It's absolutely up to you. 100% whatever you want to use. I use skill cost reduction and fire rate. I don't care about min-maxing really. I just care about doing solid damage and be okay with generic a multi-purpose build, so to speak. So I take this build pretty much everywhere, right? I use only the Fallen Hope. Rarely I go into my Greg's Reversed, but that works also very well. The Last Dagger also works very well. Snipers, pretty much any weapon you want works well on Serena. That's the beauty of it. Malevolent, same thing. So let me just explain to you the 2 skills that increase her power. First of all, her 4th ability, Redemption, you activate it in the air, and you get a 300% increase in your damage on your weapon. Happens 100% of the time, all the time. And the additional damage is AoE damage. Has a radius of 8 meters, and you can pretty much push that up to 16 meters. You can have a very solid 16 meters range of AoE damage. You just need to attack one mob, and that's gonna spread out like crazy to everyone and do insane damage. And we're gonna showcase this in a bit. This is where most of your power comes from. However, your second ability is what keeps you in the air, right? Your second ability is what makes you float. So you sit in the air at all times. And another thing that your second ability does is give extra effects on the different weapons that you use. For example, general rounds like assault rifle, submachine guns will increase the multi-hit chance in the air by 50% and 50% increase in multi-hit damage. So for example, while using the Fallen Hope, which is a very good weapon, not the best, but a very good one, you already have a 30% increase in multi-hit chance and 1.75 increase in multi-hit damage. So you do almost twice as much damage, and with the 30% increase in multi-hit chance and the 50% increase from general rounds effect that she adds on top, you have 80% multi-hit chance and almost triple the damage. Now if you lose special rounds, the orange ones, is going to apply AoE damage multiplied 150% of the firearm, again another multiplier, plus is going to attack 20 enemies in a 20 meters radius. Okay, so that's amazing power. The snipers and the purple high power rounds are gonna give you a 50% chance to increase the power, the weapons damage by 400% almost, and your impact rounds are gonna give you MP. Okay, so pretty much good everything, but you're not gonna worry about MP too much on her, now with her new trigger modules. So what you're worrying about is just shooting your weapon while maintaining your 4 ability up at all times, dodging here and there, and flying in the air. That's it. And then you're gonna have a loop of your 1 that you use to maintain topped up your ammo and your HP. That's all you need to know. Right? And that's what gives you this amazing damage. You go from 50 million DPS to 150 million DPS, and you start deleting Colossi and you start deleting mobs left and right. She's good. But if you're using this, if you're using the Divine Surge here, obviously you're gonna limit yourself in damage. So that's pretty much it. That's that. Now let me go to the build real quick and explain to you why some of the things you use. So pretty much mid-air maneuvering, here you can use whatever you want. Him, I use it just because it gives me a boost while dodging in air. It gives me a movement boost. I just move a bit faster, right? 40% increase. Gracias, I'll take it. Okay. Now, I'm using duration and skill extension, maximize duration and skill extension to increase the duration as much as I can get it to 24 seconds. Then I'm using maximize range because I want to increase the range on the additional AoE damage. So I hit one enemy and 60 meters around that enemy is going to spread the damage around. So I hit as many enemies as I can. I'm using MP conversion, nimble fingers, and focus on singular for the maximum amount of cooldown I can get. If you don't want the range, you can take off the range and put focus on fire, so that you can get this to 20 seconds. I have the boss build like this. I don't know why it does this. It's a bit buggy now, but this one basically, if you put focus on fire here like this, is going to get to 20 seconds. Okay. Then I have obviously MP conversion and nimble fingers for the cooldown. 2 HP increases, increased HP and increased HP and HP amplification. Maximize conservation to reduce the skill cost. And final wish. Every time you use your fourth skill, the cost of your skills is going to get reduced by 37%, and you're going to have a negative 40% skill power. You don't care about the skill power loss because you don't apply skill power to your weapons. So you don't care. It doesn't matter how much skill power you lose. That could be negative 5 billions. It doesn't matter because you're still going to dish out the damage because the damage comes through your bullets. That's why you don't care. And this is pretty much a generic build that focuses on 100% or almost 100% upkeep of your fourth ability, dodge around, have a decent cost. However, you do have to put 10 catalyst on it, and you do have to get your trigger module. Reason being, because Archelique, this bad boy here, this trigger module is gonna give you an extra 17% or 20% if you're lucky and you get a gold drop on your skill cost whenever Archelique is active. So while using continuous damage, skills would give you Archelique. And this is gonna consume some MP at first, but then it's gonna give you MP back every time you're continuously using the skill or every time you're continuously killing enemies. So you get 2 instances of MP recovery, and you're constantly hitting enemies and you're constantly killing enemies while mobbing or bossing, right? And this is always up. It's gonna eat through your MPs in the beginning, but then as soon as you start using your your fourth ability and you keep on shooting, you're gonna recover all those MP back, and pretty much it's gonna keep you in a continuous loop of maintaining MP. So this is why this is very good. This is best in slot for Serena pretty much because she sits in the air at all times. You don't have to go on the floor anymore to search for bricks of MP. You don't have to use MP collector anymore and all that stuff. So this is pretty good. Archelique, right? And when it comes to Arche tuning, you pretty much have 2 routes. Either you go the route of HP, and this is gonna pretty much give you about 6,000 or 7,000 extra HP, and then you go for the firearm attack route where you get your multi-hit chance and multi-hit damage. So pretty much you have a 3.6% increase in firearm attack, 8% increase in weak point damage, 19% increase in multi-hit chance, and 16% increase in multi-hit damage, with some hip fire accuracy and aim shot accuracy. I do that because I use Fallen Hope and it dances around a bit. 110% increase in max HP, and that's pretty much it. Also, you can take the HP off if you don't like it and go for the firearm attack. That will give you about 13% of firearm attack extra damage. I've tested both. I prefer HP. Honestly, it's the same damage, probably a little bit better on the HP side. So I'm tankier, I have more HP, I'm on the safer side, and I do more damage. So, you know, slightly better. But if you want to do Colossi and you want to increase the damage to Colossi, you can ditch the HP in favor of this. But damage is absolutely minimal. It's not really, you don't see that much of a difference. That's pretty much her base, her arc tuning. And the build for the Fallen Hope, mine is not the best. It's pretty much a very generic build. Like, you can do much better than this. You probably can push that to like 3 and pass million DPS or whatever. But for the mobs, basically I'm using all of your general attack build that increase the attack. I have my action and reaction, rifling reinforcement, charge amplification, my 2 rounds per magazine, the enhancement of toxic, the fire rate that goes up, and I put toxic conductor. Every time I inflict poison, then my firearm attack increased by 26%. I like this, especially on Serena, because I constantly increase my damage, and I like to see those ticks of poison. Then I have 2 multi-hit chance and multi-hit damage, multi-piercing sight. Multi-piercing sights increases your multi-hit damage by a lot, which is really good on the Fallen Hoe, because Fallen Hoe has a very high multi-hit damage multiplier, which is really nice. And then a 30% increase in multi-hit chance. I don't care about the firearm critical hit rate or the firearm critical hit damage, because this weapon is abysmal. Has a 12% critical hit rate. It's nothing. Okay, so that's that. I have 2 builds. For the mobs, when I do Serena mobs, or generic mobs, I use this. For the boss, instead, I transfer weak points. So I usually do a very similar build. It's pretty much the same, but you see the 2 things that change are have aiming and weak point sight, so that I increase my weak point damage. Reason why, although you see the DPS here, and this might be a mistake that some people do, shit DPS doesn't matter, because weak point damage doesn't actually account for in this DPS registration. But this damage against this weapon against Colossi now does a lot more damage than this one. Okay, so don't look too much at the DPS, look at what you're doing. For example, I could take the multi-piercing support ammo out and drop ultra precision in. I'm losing even more DPS, but in reality I'm gaining about 80% more weak point damage. I'm pretty much getting this to like a, I don't know, like a 3, a multiplier. So I'm actually doing more damage, as long as, for example, fighting the Wall Crusher, I'm using this simply because the amount of damage I do to the weak point is consistent, because he has such big weak points, so I don't miss at all. Because this one, if you miss, you're penalized on your firearm attack. But if you don't miss and you're consistent with your weak point attacks, you pretty much dish a lot of damage. But yeah, this is my bossing build when I do Colossi, and this is my mobbing build. This is what I use most of the time on Serena, if I'm using Serena at all, right? We can go and do an Axion playing test. I'll showcase to you how easy it is to use Serena really when you use her as a weapon platformer. And if any of you out there knows more about it and has anything good to add to make the life easier for the newcomers, chime in the comments and give some more input. What's wrong with the PC? Why is the PC lagging so much? Oh, we also have a Wall Crusher coming in about 30 seconds. Let's get to the Colossus. Yeah, I'm gonna showcase to you the Wall Crusher, Serena. Am I even going the right way? I'm not even going the right way. The Colossi is on the other side. So I'm gonna showcase to you the Wall Crusher here. We're gonna go into an 8-man fight, see what's happening, and then I'm gonna do one of the hardest mission on the Axion planes. God, this morning is not working at all. What is this? They really need to do some optimizations, is it? Right, so let's do a matchmaking. Oh, there's a Freyna. Would you look at that? Nice. I hardly see any Freynas around at this fight. Usually I use Nell. I like using Nell or Eugene. My Eugene is not done though, so... Oh. So yeah, pretty much what you'll do is you use your one, you tag them, and then you're pretty much just going to continuously demolish their weak points. Every time your thing is up, your fort is up, you just continuously use it. A bit laggy today. Here's your one. Make sure to hit those weak points. If you don't know, even if the weak points are not there anymore, you can still hit that side and get these yellow numbers. It's still considered the weak points. Nobody's dying, which means that people have started to learn how to deal with this guy. But honestly, fighting the Wall Crusher with Serena is pretty easy. It's not as fun as fighting it with someone else. And if you want to help out, you can, for example, like focus on destroying these pillars, you know, so that people... Oh, okay, that guy's going to take them out. Yeah, easy Wall Crusher. Hopefully this is gonna help and you're not gonna have any more problems.
A large cluster of breach creatures has been detected in the area.
Activate. For example, now I'm on the bossing build, so I'm gonna have less range, but you'll see, hardly matters. Well, it actually does matter, because we see if the enemies are not close by. I don't understand what's happening with the game. It's a bit laggy. I'm hoping the recording is not. But you see, you just do a lot of damage, you delete everything. And then these guys come around and you just delete the ships. All of them. Like it doesn't even matter. Look at that. Brrrr. I don't have any more ammo. I forgot to use my one. Well, no matter. You do this. And you use your Greg's reversed, which is even funnier. Greg's is so much funnier to use. Especially if there's no one around. So you know you're not gonna annoy people. You can get annoyed. Make sure to use your one so that you boost your ammo up, because every time you use your one, you're gonna recover HP and ammo, especially with the assault ships. Oh, everything died already. How can we be so fast?
Descendant, there is a tactical objective which needs to be destroyed. Requesting confirmation.
Ooh, we have an L. Oh no, that's a Freyna. How did Freyna put all of them together? Oh, doesn't matter now. Here's our one. Some ammo back. Here's our one. Get some ammo back. Destroy everyone. Come to Poppy and get freezed. Yeah, he doesn't like ice at all. So if you don't know, in the Axion planes, I think these guys don't like ice at all. So ice damage, it's gonna do wonders if you have chill elements and stuff. But yeah, you have an easy time, you do decent damage, it doesn't take you much to do anything. She's so easy to use. It's easy to use. And yeah, I was using the wrong build because I had no range on my fourth ability, right? So you can do better. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now let's go back to Albion. That's a 30 minutes video to say two things. Bloody hell, I talk a lot. Yes, that's it. Decent damage, very good damage in mobbing, extremely good damage, the best damage in bossing. Is very good for what the fuck? Void erosion purges. You can do those as well, fairly easy. and she has a ton of HP. Stop using Divine Surge. I mean, you use Divine Surge if you like it, obviously, and you don't care about it. But if you're one of those people that just started out and hears that Serena is very good, and you want to use her, or is your main, and you just came back to the game and you don't know how to use her properly, that's how. And there's tons of guys out there that have min-maxed builds if you want to squeeze even more juice out of it. Although, I would argue don't bother to get too pushy with the damage, because then you're just gonna get bored because everything dies too easily already. That's that. I'll see you chads in the next one. You take care.